What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on? What's happening? Welcome to another weekly vlog. It's been quite a week over here. Definitely lots of big things happening, lots of things going on. Getting ready to head up to Dallas in a couple weeks here. That's going to be pretty interesting. Yeah. So today we're going to talk about, what were we going to talk about? Just plain. Going to talk about the importance of automation in your business today. That's something that's very overlooked and under focused on. It's one thing to be approaching somebody for help generating leads for some sort of a sales funnel to bring people in and work them down the line, from a marketing department down to the sales department. But unless you have the proper get rid of that. Unless you have the proper infrastructure and stuff like that put in your business, it really does you no good at the end of the day, right? Because like there's so many times that people come up to there's so many times that people come to me, my partners, anybody else, and they're like, you know what, we need more leads, we want more business, blah 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 blah. You start getting them like 100+ leads a month, and they quit, they walk out because they don't know what to do, they don't know how to handle it. So we shifted a while back to be less focused on lead generation, because it does nobody any good. You're just scrambling to find people to take over the funnels, because you got people, you got potential clients that want help, that need help, that are searching for specific products or services, and now you need to plug somebody back into the system that you just already built for somebody. So with business automation, you can essentially put a big portion, like 75, 80, 90% of your business on autopilot. How does that work? I mean, it's like, we can use LinkedIn as an example right now. I've got my robots working on LinkedIn for me. I could spend easily like 15 hours a week, 20 hours a week, 30 hours a week sitting there cold calling, messaging people on Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever, picking up the phone, doing it old school, calling people who aren't on the do not call list. Or I can plug robots into my different platforms to do that all for me. I make 100 cold calls a day on LinkedIn without even lifting a finger, without even touching it, without even logging into LinkedIn, really. It just keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps working away for you. I mean, it's great. I had nothing against you guys who like cold calling and doing all that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, like, I'm pretty sure you could think of something better to be doing with your time. Would you rather call 300-400 people a day just to find 5 people that are interested, or would you rather talk to the 5 people that are interested and not have to worry about calling all those other people and doing all that other shit on the side, right? And that's really what it comes down to. And then from there you can hit them on Facebook, Google AdWords, pretty well wherever you want. Stalk them all over the internet. Remind them that they didn't fill out your form completely, whatever the case may be, with an upsell, or maybe they backed out of their cart. It doesn't matter, it's all the same. But that's what the lead generation does. But nobody, like a lot of my competitors, a lot of people in the industry, they just stop there and they say, figure it out. You know, you got a sales team, get them to pick up the phone, smile and dial, call these people, stalk these people, harass them on social media, whatever you got to do. Well, I mean, that's just burning a hole in your pocket at the end of the day. As far as I'm concerned, that's redundant, right? That's a big redundancy. It's a waste of resources, it's a waste of staff, it's a waste of manpower. You're just burning holes in your pocket at the end of the day. Like, why? You can automate that whole portion of your business as well. There's technology out there that will allow you, like, we're pretty familiar with email responders, right? You type up an email once, and it can go out at a predetermined set in the sales cycle, constantly, just constantly working for you, constantly going, which is great. What a lot of other people don't realize is you can automate your text messages and your voicemails as well. I mean, how brilliant is that you could just, slide right on into someone's voicemail without ever having to pick up the phone and give them a call and be like, hey, just checking in. Did you forget about me? What's going on? Did you buy somewhere else? Blah, 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 blah. This just allows you to stay top of mind, because let's face it, your sales staff is only realistically going to follow up with with a prospect or a client 2, 3, maybe 4 times if you're lucky, and then they're just going to stop, right? That's really the industry average. There's not many people that follow up more than that. So why are you paying staff to leave money on the table and not service clients and not bring them in, when you could be implementing technology and robots to do all this heavy lifting? I mean, the more data that you're capturing, at the end of the day, you're doing a number of things. You're increasing the valuation of your business. You're going to want to retire one day probably. You're going to want to walk away, or you're going to want to leave a legacy for your family, right? For your kids. Having this will increase the valuation of the business by collecting more data so that you can do whichever one of those things that you want. If you change your mind, it's still there, right? And that goes a long way. What you're also doing is you're also decreasing costs on your bottom line, and you're leaning out your company. I mean, technology is a lot cheaper to implement in more cases. I mean, upfront you might have higher upfront costs, but in the long run, you're saving money. You're coming out ahead. You don't need these people sitting there going out for smoke breaks, fucking off for lunch breaks, doing whatever it is that they're doing while on shift. You know, the old water cooler treatment, sitting there chatting around, bullshitting, complaining that nobody's picking up their phones today, or it's a holiday so they can only call people who have been active within 18 months, whatever the case may be. The robots don't have that problem. They never take a break. They're working 24/7. If you don't want to, I would recommend changing settings so you're not leaving voicemails past like 9, 10 o'clock at night. That's not professional by any means, or sending out text messages that late at night. That's not quite professional. But all of these systems, they can be automated for you. I mean, if you're a mortgage broker, a loan officer, anything like that, you can have your whole application process automated. You can have a system built out where people come into the funnel, they get set into an interactive app. They click, they go through, they make their answers, they upload their documents. You got a file sitting on your desk 24/7. You could be on vacation, you could be out with the kids, you could be at home because the kids are sick, you could be taking care of the wife, you could be doing whatever. And the technology is still working, bringing people in, especially for some like financing companies and mortgage companies. I mean, some of you are paying your contractors 30, 40, 50 points, right? For doing what? You can have technology do it, and you can drive up the valuation of your business and put more money in your pocket. I mean, I'm not saying that to be that guy and like, yeah, robot, like let's implement technology, let's lay a bunch of people off. I'm not saying that by any means. You definitely need that human element, but you can lean down and get away from it. Like, how many times are you calling your guys and you can hear golf balls or something tinkering around in the background? You know they're not working, but they're insisting that they're working very hard, right? Like, I get it. I was a financial advisor for like several years. Being on the golf course was a very lucrative way to find clients and start building relationships with people, which was pretty cool. But still, I mean, they're getting paid to play golf. Like, just, yeah, it blows my mind, guys. It really blows my mind. So there's not much within your business that you can't automate. I mean, if you're a realtor, a real estate agent, anything like that, you can have your whole booking process on autopilot to the point where you're waking up and you're just showing up to an open house. You're showing up to finalize a sale. You're doing all those other things in your business that actually make you money, not the things that take up time. Look at it this way, like, on average, I know I was spending anywhere from 50, depending on the week and my workload, I was spending anywhere from 15 to 30 hours a week picking up the phone, chasing people, following up with people, doing all that, trying to make sure if they're interested, trying to see if they went somewhere else, yada, yada, yada. What I didn't know back then is that 15, 30 hours a week, with the proper infrastructure in place within my practice, I could have automated all of that. Like, how cool would that be? Like, how cool would it be not to have to go networking, not to have to pick up the phone and cold call, not to have to do any of that? You're just showing up to write financial plans, do house showings, finalize a mortgage app, collect a check, whatever the case may be, without having to lift a finger. Like what what kind of an impact is that going to make on your life? That's a huge impact that it's going to make on your life. You know what I mean? Like it's insurmountable. Not only are you increasing your revenue, because you can't be working 24/7. You're increasing your revenue, you're decreasing a lot of costs on your bottom line. You're not worrying about what your staff are doing, who's producing, who's not. You can get it done. You can hire 3-4 students. You can hire 3-4 college students that want the income to work for $15, $16, $18 an hour, just to tie up those loose ends part-time for you. And you can be like as removed away from your business as you want. So like the benefits of having having automated systems built into the infrastructure of your business to essentially run it for you, it's brilliant. It's a no-brainer. Like I said at the beginning there, lead generation only goes so far. You need to have the proper infrastructure in place to be able to handle it, to be able to manage it, to be able to move forward, to be able to do so many different things, right? Without that infrastructure, you're just gonna crash and burn. I'm talking to a fellow digital marketer here right now, and she's saying, I gotta answer the text after this, but she's saying like, yeah, people come to her wanting leads, they can't handle the workflow, and they walk away. Now she's got abandoned funnels and people that are sitting there going, well, like, I need this, I want this, why isn't anybody getting back to me yet? And she's scrambling to find somebody to take over the thing. Like, that's not a lot of people. Like, there's just not enough emphasis on the automation. So that's why I rebranded. I kicked elevation to the curb. I scrapped it. That's it. No more elevation. No more exclusive focus on lead generation. We're now a system and process oriented company, and that's what the marketplace wants. The marketplace, so many people that I talk to, they want the technology, they want the infrastructure, they want to decrease the workload of their people, they want to be able to get rid of the low producing people. If you're a producer yourself, if you're a top producer, you can stay there by implementing this infrastructure just for yourself to keep yourself going. Like, you'll have more time for your family, like your kids, your spouse, more time for vacation. You could be anywhere in the world and this stuff is just working for you. Like, it's brilliant. It's a no-brainer. And there's so many different programs, there's so many different avenues, there's so much stuff out there, guys. Like when people talk about, when we talk about chatbots, most people just think about Facebook. And that's true. That's really where they're becoming the most popular, or even on your website. But you can implement a chatbot across multiple platforms, across multiple channels. Like, you can integrate your chatbot through your LinkedIn, your website, your Facebook. You could have it all connected, all right there at your fingertips. And they're coming a long way. I mean, I know of a few bots that you can't even tell that you're not talking to a real person. They'll flirt back with you. They'll have a conversation with you. You can talk about your day, whatever. They're there. They'll answer your questions. But as soon as they get stumped and they can't find an appropriate answer on the internet, then it'll start pinging a human within whatever company to come and answer the phone, to hop on that chat. Like it's such a crazy world. Technology's out there. Being able to just slip into people's text messages, slip into people's voicemails on autopilot without lifting a finger. Like, it's just brilliant. It's brilliant stuff. That's the way that the world is headed. Everything is becoming automated. Everything is becoming robotic. Like, I know it's frustrating when you call into a bank or wherever and you get the stupid, like, touch this for that, whatever systems. And I'm not talking about that. That's old. That's outdated. Nobody wants that. I wouldn't even set that up for somebody if they asked. But to have something fully interactive that brings people in, that they're engaged, that they're active, that they're not bored, that they can't even tell that they're not dealing with a human or a salesperson, it really goes a long way. So that's it. That's why business automation and having that infrastructure is so important in your business. Like I said, it's going to increase your revenue, it's going to increase your profits, it's going to cut costs on your bottom line, ethically, legally. It's going to be working for you 24/7, 365. Do not call this, don't matter, none of that shit matters. it's just going to keep going. You're going to have more time to do the things you love, such as spend time with your family, take care of your kids, go on vacation, do all of these different things. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, I'd love to hear your feedback. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this. Hit me up, share this with somebody who needs to hear it, and I will talk to you guys soon. Cheers.